What's up, y'all? It's your boy KileKillit, COB Indiana chapter, Soot, GCE, Geechee Commission Entertainment. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. We're going to have some fun today, learning some more knowledge. Alright, so we're going to open up a file from our program that we're going to be starting straight from scratch. I'm going to be teaching you how to just set up what it is you need to set up. So we are going to go ahead and click on a new project. Now when you this opens up, it's going to be all crazy because, you know, it's set up to the way they want it to be set up, but I'm going to set it up to the way that I want to set it up. So we're going to go ahead here, and over here we have our little display of our master track and track one kind of together. We got our console down at the bottom, or mixer, however you want to look at it. Over here we have our media, or where you would get your plugins and stuff, but I don't really use that, and we ain't going to use that today. We're going to do it a different way. In the middle there you have your tracks. I'm going to collapse the sides down, just as easy as that. And then I'm going to raise up my mixer, because I am going to want to use that later when we get involved in some other stuff. So that's the mixer. In Sonar you can put the mixer down by just hitting D, so you may see it just kind of come up and down like that. So now here is your tracks all out here. These were where they was, where we collapsed them down, so we don't have to worry about it. Console down to the bottom, hitting D brings it up and down. B will take that away if you hit B. The other side, I don't know, I don't hit that very often, I guess. Now you have your two tracks here already set up. There's a MIDI track here, and we have our audio track there. Now we don't really need a MIDI track because we're not working with MIDI here when we're recording audio. So we're going to delete that track, and we're left with our audio track. Now the audio track is set up to the way they want it to look, so I'm going to pull that out a little bit, and I'm going to get ready to do my customized one. And they may have one also, so I'm going to go up here where this little section is right there, and I'm going to bring down the menu, and we're going to pick custom. Now that brings up your volume, your pan, your gain. Now I like them all to be on the same spot, so I'm going to bring them up and have it as best as I can. So there we go. I'm going to lower it down a little bit. Now you got all that on there. All you're going to be using is that. So you can go to your track control manager if you want to, and change what you want to have on your display there, so that it will help you get there faster and easier. There's a bus strip, one surround bus, your instrument bus, your MIDI strip, or your strips and all that, instrument strips. So you have all those right there. You can save it, whatever you want to do, name it something else, and you just hit OK. Alright, now after that we want to go over and check out this section where is our input. Now this is where your microphone is going to be coming in through your sound card, so you're going to bring that down, look for your sound card, go over there. You have left, right, stereo. It's either going to be on the left, right, so mine's on the left, and we're good to go. Master stays the same, we ain't got to worry about that. Alright, so that's pretty much your basic track setup. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone this track so that I have multiples, so that I can do other stuff. We're going to clone the properties, all that good stuff. We're going to make 6 of them, so that gives us a total of 7. We're going to have 1 of them be for our instrumental, and then the rest of them are going to be for your vocals. So track 1, we're going to go ahead and label that as the instrumental. Track 2, we're going to label as the main vocals. Track 3 will be your dub main, which is like if you dub your vocals. If you don't even worry about that. Track 4 is going to be your backgrounds, punches, whatever you might want to call them. Some people call those their dubs. So whichever feels good for you. Below that, we're going to have our dub of the backgrounds and punches. Just in case you like to do them a lot, then you're going to want to dub them up sometimes. Make them more forceful, sound better. Our next one is going to be our ad-libs. So as we have on one, that's where you go your woos and ahs and yeah. And there's your extra one just in case you want to add some other stuff to it. So I usually have all those ready to go so that I can just keep on rocking. Alright. So now after this, you're going to want to put in your plugins. And we're going to show you all that here in just a second. I'm going to take the instrumental there and put it to none because we don't really need it to be on the left or right side. I mean, yeah, on the left or right of the microphone. We're not going to be using the microphone for the instrumental. Alright, so then we're going to go into our console/mixer. And you see all 7 of the tracks there. We're going to bring this part of the mixer down so that we can have all the tracks displayed. Alright, so you're going to want to take off these ones they already have set. So I'm going to delete this preview buzz. I'm going to delete the metronome buzz. I don't know. I just don't trust what they already have on there. So then I'm going to add my own bus, and I'm going to go from there. So you're going to right-click on it, say Insert Stereo Bus. Here comes your bus. I'm going to label that bus down here at the bottom. Alright, we're going to label it KileKillit Bus. You know, because it's your boy KileKillit. C-O-B, soot. Alright, so now we have everything there good to go. We want to have our send these to our bus. We don't want to send the instrumental to the bus. We just want to send these ones to the bus. Because these are your vocals and they're going to be going off that bus. Now, later on, if you wanted to make it sound different on a certain ad-lib or something like that, and you wanted to have a different one, you can add another bus. So what we're going to do next is we're going to start to do some plugins. Now, I was just messing around with this thing. I usually don't use this one. So I went back and just did what I do know. So we're going to go ahead and go into our effects, and we're going to add an audio effect here. And I always start off with your EQ. So you want your EQ to be the foundation of your song, foundation of your voice and your vocal. So I use this one right here, and it just brings up this little flat bar. And what I usually do is take this and lower it, take the lows out, and then, you know, maybe bring up a little bit of these mids. Just depends on how the person's voice is. So this part right here will always vary and change to the liking of the person's voice. If they have a real high voice, you may want to take out a lot of the highs because it may be too screeching for them as who they really are. So just depending on the artist will depend on that. Next, you're going to want to put our compression. Yeah, so we're going to put a compression on this. Now, there's usually like these little presets up here or something. You never know. You might use if you want to. You can. Now, I know that I set my ratio up to usually around 7.4, 7.5, something like that, you know. So we're going to get that there. I put the knee about 4. And then we're going to have our threshold off to the side over here that we're going to have it bring it down to about 16 or between 16 and 18, negative 16 and 18. So you'll figure out where that's at with the vocal of the person who sent it and how you're compressing it and everything else. So that'll be set there, but I really don't know exactly how everything was set. The first time, so I'm going to go ahead and do my preset main vocal, and as you can tell, the attack was down to nothing and the release is at 200, but the rest of it is pretty much the same. So those are the only things that had changed, and we're going to drop that down to 16. So I have it set to 12 and just kind of mess around to 17, negative 17 decibels. Alright, so then after that, you're going to add your next effect, which is going to be your gate. So a gate takes out all the stuff that's below something that you don't want to hear, like your breaths, or if you did that with your voice, or you slapped your lips together like that, it's going to take those low ends that you really weren't talking, and it's going to just take them all the way out for you automatically where you don't hear any of it. And you got two different ones. You have a standard gate and a default gate here, and as you can tell, they were a little bit different on how far over they was and how much they would take out. So it may not take out all of it if it's not the right gate. So you're going to want to mess with those within the song and see which one best fits it in the vocal of the person who sent you the track, or if you're recording them yourself. These are your reverbs. Now we're going to put a reverb on next. So we have a default reverb that I had. There's their default one, and you can tell there's differences in all of these. The reverb really changes in the ER is what changes on that. I have an artist here named Queen Prophet, and she has a little bit more reverb in there. As you can see, the ER is a little bit less. So it just depends on what you're looking for. But mine, I usually go with this decent one that I use. But it's still up to you. It's your preference, and you just gotta mess with all those little buttons and see what they do to give you what you need. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add in our our de-essers next after the reverb. And I usually just use a preset. It's the male de-esser 2 in here, and it does great. So if you wanted to kind of copy down what I got it set at, or what it's set at, you can put that on yours and be good to go. Or you can change it. As I say, none of this stuff is set in stone. It is up to you and how you really want it to sound. But I'm telling you the best ones that I do. So if you know my work, then you know that, hey, if I want mine to sound like this, I'm gonna copy this dude. So you can copy what I'm doing, but do your own little twist on it too. Add your next audio effects would be, our next plugin is going to be, let's see, dun, 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 dun. It is delay. That is correct. All right. So on our delay here, you can see that they already have a preset one. Now, what I like to do is I take down the focus on the mix, and I focus on the feedback on this one. The crossfeed is good where it's at. First off, though, you want to make sure your tempo is the same. So make sure you check your tempo down there, matches with the tempo of the beat. And we'll go over the tempo and how to catch that in another episode coming up here, where it'll go over that. So what I like to do is bring it down in the mix. I usually keep it around like 5, and then I keep the crossfeed at 10. Now, if you wonder why they're moving at the same time, it's that link button right there. So you can click that link button in the middle and move them both. So that's kind of nice. All right, so then I'm gonna move that down to 10 too, because that's where I prefer it at, is around that area. Now you can change that. It's gonna make it more forceful. Now here's just how much it comes off of it. So if you wanted to echo like hello, hello, or if you wanted to go hello, 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 and that's gonna be your quarters. Your 1 will be even less off. So it's all about there. I usually don't use 1 unless it's for a certain specific spot. Otherwise, it's probably 1/2 or quarters. Now that's pretty much your foundation of what you want to have, just in that order too, because that's going to be the way they work together the best to give you that best quality of a vocal sound. So if you want to, you can mess around and do more plugins though, like a distortion of a valve driver. I've used it before, where you can put a guitar type effect on somebody, so you see those. You can do all kinds of different things, and I pretty much just try one of them to see what it sounds like, and then if I like it, then cool. If I want to tweak it a little bit, I'll move some stuff around till I get the sound that I'm looking for. So this is kind of a little bit of work to do, but it's going to be worth it in the end if you're getting what you want, So all kinds of stuff other than that you can work with, but please let those be your foundations there. It's going to be the best for you. So I believe that is it, and that's pretty much how you're going to set up a track, and that is in Cakewalk Sonar Professional. If you're using something else, it's going to be hopefully pretty similar, but hey, thank you for tuning in again to another episode here with your boy KileKillit, COB Indiana chapter. Subscribe to the channel if you like. Go check out Geechee Commission Entertainment. I'm also on there, so hey, GCE, COB. We got Carolina all the way to Indiana. So y'all, hey, check us out. Peace.